This is the 1STBANK Center. We were looking for a niche where we could do 3,000 to 7,000 people at really a concert venue. And when the opportunity came up here, we looked at this venue and we really thought about all the renovations we could do to it to take a sports arena and make it a concert venue and make it one of the premier venues that you would never see or actually around the country. I think we're breaking ground here on a new type of venue and really thinking about vibe and decor. Chuck Morris is promoter extraordinaire. Chuck just brings a passion and a vision to it that, it creates an energy.
What we wanted to do when we were lucky enough to take over this great center was, like we've always done in my career, bring in every kind of music. The first act, as you well know, are the Grateful Dead founders, and we have Carrie Underwood, another country star, coming. Pavement, the reunion of Pavement is coming here in the fall. Family shows are going to do great here. We already have Elmo 1-2-3, which is Sesame Street, coming here in the next month. That'll be the first of many. It's such a great, diverse lineup. From rock to country to sports to family shows to, hey, we even have the Democratic State Convention here in June. And of course we have the great roller doll season coming here starting next week, which I'm very excited about. Girls Roller Derby is something that's exploding around the country. They finally have a great place to play with a scoreboard, with a full-scale size place to skate.
Bringing the roller dolls up here to this venue, creating a little bit of energy and excitement around it, marketing it a little bit, and you're going to catch lightning in a bottle. Opening night, 5,000 plus people up here watching roller derby. Probably would never have guessed that, but Chuck Morris has a way of garnering that attention, creating an entertainment experience for the things that he touches, and they become successful.
Here we are on the floor of this great mini arena, and get a feel that the furthest seat is not very far from the stage, and get a feel about how great it is standing here or sitting here. We can do it either standing room or we can do it with seats. It can seat up to 6,500 or more people, but yet every seat's a good seat, and it has a feel of an auditorium. We are so proud of the job everybody did fixing this place up, from those beautiful curtains to an all new paint with colors to antique looking signs to semi-permanent stage right there that almost any band in the world can play on, and boxes now that have artwork in there and curtains and all sorts of stuff. And we've really given this place soul and ambiance, which is something it really needed. Hey, up here we have the suite area, which we have totally redone, giving it a lot of character and ambiance with artwork you'll see a little bit later in the walls, and curtains and a beautiful colored look. We are selling the suites right now mostly show by show, because I think people will, in the next 6 months, see our killer lineup up here. Although even without trying, we've sold 3 suites already. And the suites is just a great, comfortable way to watch a show and have reserved seats for every show and have a lot of fun up here. As you see here, it says coming soon, the future home of the Colorado Music Hall of Fame, and an album cover from Tommy Bolin, maybe the greatest guitarist that ever came out of this town. Tommy was a 16-year-old runaway from Sioux City, Iowa, who came to Boulder around 1967, and of course had a brilliant career until his tragic death at 24. And I think if he lived today, he'd be Eric Clapton. He was the most brilliant guitarist I maybe have ever seen, and I've seen mostly all of them. This area here, starting where the boxes end and going all the way around to the beginning of the next boxes, and including this bar, will be the future home of the Colorado Music Hall of Fame, something I'm very, very excited about. It will be a non-profit that will help promote the great history of Colorado music, featuring displays from some of the great artists going back to Judy Collins and Earth, Wind and Fire, and of course in the 70s with Dan Fogelberg and Stephen Stills and Manassas, and Joe Walsh and Barnstorm and the Dirt Band and Dan Fogelberg, and of course the 80s with Yonder Mountain, and the 80s and 90s with Yonder Mountain and Big Head Todd and the Monsters, and String Cheese Incident and Leftover Salmon and all those great bands. And of course today, in the last few years, the great rebirth of music coming out of here that is happening all over the world, including the Fray and 303 and One Republic and the Flowbots, among others. And we're going to have a a music hall of fame, which will have displays of all the great artists. This bar over here will be converted to what we will be calling the Colorado Music Hall of Fame bar, with displays on the walls, with TV showing videos of artists, famous artists that have come out of here, all sorts of stuff. To be able to educate people and to raise money for the CU Music School is something I've always wanted to do, and now we're going to finally have a building that can do that. You know, the great thing about this building is the furthest seat from the stage is tremendously close to the stage. Every seat is a great seat. I know in the further shows this weekend, a lot of people came up here, had a drink, and watched and stand and danced, and it was just great. And this is just one of the many great features of this building.
Opening night here was 2 nights of the Further Festival. It was an incredible opening weekend. We had 7,000 people showing up to Broomfield, Colorado. In the building they came, and we had a great 4.5 hours of Grateful Dead music, and the energy in the building was fantastic. I had emails back from them that the second show on Saturday night, the band members themselves actually said that it was one of the best shows that they've ever done, ever. The patrons here and the band here created that energy, and it was one that'll be legendary with the Further guys for the rest of their lives.
That's the greatest sign in Denver, right there. That big sign, 250,000 cars cross that every day, and that is the best advertising you can have in the world. I mean, we are doing extremely well on tickets, and part of that is our great marketing department, and of course, booking the right shows. You know, one of the great things about this building is we have a full court practice basketball court. You know, artists and their crews who are on the road, they love to play basketball. And there aren't a lot of buildings in the country that aren't the big arenas that are made for basketball, where the band and crew all day can play basketball. Hoops is just another great element of this building that will attract the greatest artists in the world. So, watch it on a killer shot. Another great perk for the artists. You know, these artists are on buses and they come here with a big crew. We've got that basketball court we were talking about for the artists to play during the day when they have a break, and now we have a weight room. A lot of the artists these days, it's not like the old days. They take care of their bodies, and this is going to be a great perk for them. Not a lot of buildings can provide this. Here we are in the concourse. Now we've made some dramatic changes here. These beautiful sort of antique signs just give it a class, and these colors were all designed to give the whole place a feeling of theater, a feeling of tradition. Artwork from Broomfield. This place that we're putting more and more up will have artwork all over the place. This bar, typical example, was always here, but these walls were always covered and you never knew the bar was here. If you went to a show, there'd be 3 people in there. Well, we opened it all up. We're gonna have stools here and stools there. And all of a sudden you have a big bar that everybody walks by. Windows, used to be boring and empty. We put some artistic designs on them right there. Look at the difference. Add that to the color and the signs. I mean, you have a real feeling of an auditorium, of a classic auditorium. Now that bridge over there, there's going to be a walkway that will go over the Boulder Turnpike with an RTD spot right in front of our building coming from Boulder, and an RTD spot on the other side coming from Denver and going to Boulder. So we're going to have public transportation on both sides from Boulder to Denver, and eventually, see about 200 yards over there, that train track? That's going to be light rail. Here's some more great artwork that we're putting in the building, and there'll be some more coming that just give a really cool local flair and national flair, and give the concourse just a little more class and a little bit more things to do. And we're going to be continuing to add on all the walls artwork, of course the Hall of Fame rock and roll stuff. Pictures of every show will be up. You know, one thing you probably already heard about, but maybe not, is if you're from here, which most people who are watching this are, you know about Broomstock, which is a celebration of the last day of school for everybody in Broomfield City and County. It is a battle of the bands in one of the big parks, and what we have done this year is to take a big act to end that day, and it's going to be One Republic. One Republic is originally from Colorado, one of them from Broomfield, and some from the Springs. And a very big band, and they're going to play here the night of Broomstock, and the opening act is going to be the winner of the Battle of the Bands. And we're going to have judges, including myself, and it's going to be a great day. There's going to be a discount for Broomfield people, And we think we're going to make Broomstock bigger than it's ever been. And it's always been really successful, but we hope to take it to the next level and make something real unusual and continue that tradition every year for the people of Broomfield.
We're situated right in a mixed-use development. The slogan in the neighborhood is work, live, and play. And I think we're going to do everything we can to bring the play to the neighborhood. You're going to see the restaurants wanting to start having a place here. You're going to see the bars starting to pop up in the neighborhood. Restaurants and bars bring more people. Having the business come to this building on a regular basis is definitely going to spur this entire Arista development to fulfill its vision that it had 3 years ago.
Teamwork is everything. I always hire people that are smarter than me and put a great team together and let them do their thing. And I think that's why I've been doing it for 40 years. I have the greatest people in the world, great loyal people, some of them have been with me up to 30 years.
You have to build a giant team of people who care as much about it as you do. And when they all start caring actually more than you do, they start self-perpetuating themselves and you create this incredible team of people all with the same goal of creating that experience.
I'm going into my 40th year, starting with my first club in Boulder, Tulagi's in 1970, and I still love it, man. I still love building a new hall, filling it up with people, and having great shows. I still get off on it. You know, I still wake up every morning with a smile on my face going to work, trying to produce stuff like this. And the day I stopped having a good time will be the day I'm going to call it a career, but I'm still having a blast.
Broomfield residents, they're the owners of this building. They own it. This is theirs. We want them to be proud of this facility, that when they go anywhere, that they can talk about this entertainment facility that they have in their community. We're going to bring a lot of people to Broomfield, Colorado that have never been here before. When they come into this facility and they see Broomfield nestled up against the foothills of Colorado, and you see the white snow-capped mountains and you're 10 minutes from Boulder and 10 minutes from downtown Denver, people start thinking about what a great place this is to live. There's a lot of positive economic benefits to the entertainment and the successful entertainment that's going to be here.
Hey, there's one thing I really want to add that has been so important to the success of this building, and that's the great people of Broomfield. You know, we work with a lot of city governments. We go from Berlin to China to London to Australia, you name it, and these guys here are the best. I have just been blown away. How cooperative and how they get it and how they've been so positive in supporting our ideas and implementation of them. Everybody's just, this is a great city.